Welcome to the G.N.A. podcast, Games, News, and Alcohol, where I start drinking at 3 p.m. and we don't record till 8. Cha-cha-cha. And to answer your question, article, why we do that sync at the beginning, that is so that when I go to marry everything up and I put all of our sound together, I take the master recording that I have of the Skype recording and I take the sync spots from where you clap and link it up to that so that the individual recordings all link together properly. And then I can cut all that stuff out.
Because, I can understand why we clap for the purpose of video, right?
No, so the reason we clap for audio is it gives me a very distinct spike in the audio that I can visibly see.
That's what I was asking. Yeah, it's easier to see. Okay. I got you. That makes sense. I'm glad
As you heard him,
that.
We're being joined by Article tonight. Article Man, how are you feeling, good sir?
I'm pretty good. I had some food last night that resulted in shitting liquid fire, so that wasn't fun. But it's past now, and I'm feeling better.
Don't you love it when you're sitting on the can and you're going, funny, I don't remember me eating hot coals?
Oh, I remember eating this time anyway. The mistake.
No, the worst one is where you're sitting on the can and you're funny, I don't remember eating broken glass.
Right, yeah. So, yeah. Also, I just looked up flights, and it would only cost me $2,000 to do a round trip to Vermont over the next week.
Nice. And we're being joined by our illustrious Secretum. What the fuck? I keep forgetting her name.
I mean, you can just keep calling me Shinzu if you really want, but it's Secretum.
Yeah, I'm never going to remember Secretum, dude. I keep reading it on the screen, and I try to remember it, and I try to read it, but...
I like how you did change my name to see.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty hot.
You know what, man? I got that sauce. Secret. It's tasty.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. I got out of work super early today, but I will tell you that we had a nice little freak snowstorm. A certain town in Vermont doesn't know how to plow their roads, so there was like 3-inch layer, like chunks of ice in the road all over the place. Driving sucked, but I got my car serviced anyway because it was due for came home and haven't gotten into Creo yet. But
God, I love getting serviced.
I don't have to pay for this happy ending either.
And D from Microbrews joining us. How you doing, D?
Doing okay. Yeah, it's Friday. Can't complain.
And we dragged Damok over. I don't even think he realized we were doing it. How you doing, Damok?
I'm drinking whiskey. Yay!
It was a Japanese whiskey, though, isn't it?
It is a Japanese whiskey. It's Hibiki. Suntory whiskey. It's like Japanese harmony.
Nice. How is it?
Very, very smooth with a very sweet flavor to it. It has a bite about mid-sip, but it's very light on the bite, and then it finishes out real smooth.
Yeah, the attack on that, I felt, was a very, very light whiskey and a very, very sweet, like, almost to the point of sickly finish. But the full middle, the full, everything past the attack was... smooth and flavorful, almost no bite. Like, that was the thing that disappointed me. I didn't feel a bite out of it when I tried it.
Well, I bought the big bottle, and oops, I'm over halfway through of it already.
Why is that an oops? Sounds like a good start.
It's like $75, and I was like, oh, this should last me like a couple days, maybe the weekend. No, it's not. I'll have to go back to the tequila.
Nice. And what are you drinking, D?
Well, I am actually diving into something Zyber got me.
Do tell.
So the last time I saw him, he dropped off for me some Sloop Brewing Juice Bomb Northeastern IPA. The attack at first it tastes very citrusy. With the afterwards you get that bitterness from the IPA, and it's pretty smooth. I'm really enjoying this. 16-ounce cans, about 6.5% alcohol by volume. The aftertaste, it doesn't stick like strongly with you, so it's actually pretty refreshing. I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Awesome. Yeah, too bad Zyber couldn't be here tonight. I know he's got some stuff going on.
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll get himself all sorted. That, or we will just call his job and get him fired, and then he can join us every night. What are you drinking, Shinzu?
I am drinking some lovely bourbon again.
Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, it's a repeat, but all right. It's locally made bourbon that they've aged oak casks, bourbon barrels. Obviously, made of maple wood, kind of in a bottle.
Dead what happens.
Well, then I use the restroom or shit it out, or on occasion, I fly on a plane to Chicago, and I shit on your floor.
And then?
No one did.
And then?
No one did.
I still remember having some maple vodka that you left a bottle with me.
Yeah,
and I drank
still have some of that.
I drank way too fucking much of it. It was delicious.
Oh yeah, dude, it's that
dangerously
stuff
delicious.
is what the hell is that stuff called? Vermont Gold. It's
Yeah. It was good.
It's vodka distilled from maple sap, and it's smoother than Grey Goose.
All right, Damok, you're completely pulling my focus away. That's like that freaking what the hell was it?
Hey, my name is not This Is Farticle.
10S or whatever.
Oh my god, have you watched that show yet?
I haven't, but I've got to watch it.
Oh, that masturbation episode's gonna fuck with you.
Well, I'll make sure to pull out the tissues.
What show is this?
I mean, what? Well, hang on, hold on. We'll get into that. Article, what are you drinking with us? Or what are you partaking with us?
I am currently smoking a bit of weed, which is basically the jungle juice of weed, because it's just like remnants I have left over in a bag. Basically, anytime you shred your weed, it produces this stuff called keef, just like powder, really. And so I've just been slowly collecting that in a bag over the past several months. And now I just have like a bag full of just almost pure THC, I would say. It's ridiculous.
This sounds like fucking Magic Fairy dust here.
Yeah, I mean, it
sounds
can pretty much make you fly. Yeah.
See, now, all I think of there is reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yep.
And I think of that Zool that you get at the bottom of a beer and putting all of them into one bottle, and then that's what I'm getting in my head.
That would probably be disgusting.
It's pretty bad, but if you're drunk enough, it's all right.
Fair enough. But yeah, in the case of weed, it's not wet, so it doesn't have time to like get nasty or, I don't know, be full of spit. But yeah, I've only just started to smoke some, and I have a feeling that once I do, I'll pretty much be non-existent.
You'll be useless. So by the end of the show, we'll be like, hey, Article, what do you feel about this? And it'll just be dead silence.
I'll be like, wait, what was the question?
Well, I myself have been drinking for a majority of the day. For the better part of actually the day. I've been drinking since about 3, as already said. I have moved on to some Pocahontas. I was drinking some of that Screamin' Real that Blue sent up to me, which is so good. Like, now that I've started getting through it and I'm starting to get used to it, it is so good. Really digging it. But I switched on to this Pocahontas. I actually went through the Screaming Reel, and then I went through my 90-minute IP, and now I'm on Pocahontas. And this Pocahontas I've had before. It's really, really great if you like IPAs. Very, very hoppy. Incredibly bitter. I think this is actually low on the IBU scale, which I disagree with that damn IBU scale. The higher you go on that is not the more bitter a beer is. Like, seriously, the lower on that end is way more bitter.
I'm sorry, they're talking about emotional.
That could be it.
Wouldn't they all taste the same then?
I don't know. This beer is like drinking the salty tears of my enemy. That's what it's like.
Retribution in a glass.
Exactly.
Nice.
Really good, really hoppy. If you're a hophead, check out Pocahontas. Such a good, flavorful, yummy beer. Well, next segment we got here, State of Games. And this is where I'm going to apologize now because my State of Games is going to be a rant. It's not actually going to be what I played this week. So I will go last to give other people time to actually chime in. So, Article, man, what is your State of Games there, guy?
Oh, so good. This last week, I've taken like breaks in between doing homework to play like a round or two of Apex Legends, and that's pretty much all I've played. But I'm now over triple-digit kills, and
nice.
Yeah, I've been getting like steadily better at that game, and yeah, it's just fun, man. I don't know, I enjoy it.
I actually just got another win on PS4 side tonight around 6 or 7 o'clock.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you place first? I've come so close, so many friggin' games now. I've placed first, of course, but like in recent memory, like over the past week, I probably had like a dozen or so rounds where it was like us versus the last team, and every time I've managed to just barely lose. Like I just got first. Yeah, I got a win, got a total win out of it. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, actually, I got paired up with. I thought it was actually going to be a really crappy run. It was a person with 18 kills who had like 80 kills.
Oh yeah.
But the person who had 80 kills was not the one who wrecked house. The person who had like 15 or 18 kills or whatever, they're the ones who wrecked house.
Yeah, good for them. Yeah, I was on a team the other day that was some guy that got like 15 friggin' kills. It literally the whole round was just us and my other teammate running to catch up with this dude who was just fucking straight raping the whole map. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, like friggin' skull fucking everybody who walked up to him. That's exactly what happened. So
it was
like,
bizarre.
I would spot a guy, and this person would run like
He
would
just
run
go
in
right.
and wreck him, like
It's like a
just
badger.
bam. Yeah, like I would just literally aim off, and I'd be like, "Hey, there's a guy over there." Before I could even like get my bead on the guy, that person had already run in and shotgunned them in their face and their friend who was standing behind him. And I'm like, sheep shit. So I just sat there and spotted people all night long.
Yeah, that's helpful too, though, to have like a good spotter, so you know exactly the enemy's layout. Like that's so fucking important. What I really dislike are the people that they like run into to fight somebody, and they're getting shot. Of course, the character's like, I'm getting shot, but they never ping anything. So you're like, where the fuck are they? Like, I don't understand how and then he gets murdered. Somebody, the other teammate usually runs in to try and save the day. They get murdered. And then you're left sitting there like, what can I do now? Either I stand back and wait to try and respawn them, or I run in and get slaughtered too, like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so what I found is, like, I don't know, like I found that I work best as a healer in that game, hanging back, and spotting people, healing people up. The thing that drives me nuts is somebody gets dropped, they're sitting there crawling around, and you can still spot people when you're down.
Yeah, very true.
And people just ignore doing it. It's like, where are they? Spot them. Oh, they're right in front of me. Oh, okay, that's great. I can't tell which direction you're pointing.
Yeah, same. And yeah, that stuff is like I get it, because you're kind of like flustered at that moment, and you're just like, damn it, but you could still be so helpful when you're on the ground.
Exactly. Yeah, it takes you forever to bleed out.
Yeah, even if you just want to crawl out and literally make yourself like a lure for the other team, right?
Yep.
To make it seem, just to expose their position when they start firing, or whatever. Like there's so many cool things that you can do with that game, and it's just, I don't know, it's super fun. Like I was in a firefight with this one dude around a rock, and he would go to like his left and his right, and he would throw down those gas traps.
Oh yeah.
So you couldn't, like, it wouldn't be very smart to just run in after him. And so I went and I attacked him from the right side of the rock, and he was there and ready to defend essentially. I got a few shots off, and then I circled back around to the left, which he was waiting for, and again he was ready, and we exchanged a few blows, and then I went back to the front of the rock, and now it's like rock paper scissors, right? Like he's just trying to guess which side I'm going to come from next. So instead I jumped on top of the rock and went over the side of it. He was pointing to the right side, looking, like, waiting for me to find him, and I just like laid into his face with all the lead I had. Like that was a pretty rewarding kill in my personal opinion.
Oh yeah.
But I would like to mention also, I saw something about a new, like, previously unannounced Zelda game coming out, and I looked at that. I'm not so excited for that. It looks a little wonky in my opinion. Like the character movements are all like, I don't know, just really, really staggered, it would seem. I don't know if anybody else has seen that.
I have not.
What it looks like from the makers of that, what's that indie game?
An indie game called shit? That doesn't sound good at all.
No. My brain just completely fried the hell out.
It's called The Cadence of Hyrule.
Okay. Well, that I didn't know it was called that. That makes me think now that it's some kind of timing-based game. In which case,
it was an indie rhythm game. I'm just trying to remember the name of it. The Cadence of Hyrule is what the game is, but it was based from the makers of another popular one.
Right. No, you're right. No, you're right about that. I don't know what the other game was either. But that's an interesting concept, at least. I'll reserve judgment. I didn't know it was a cadence-based game.
I think it's based off of
Crypt of the Necrodancer. It was Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Do you know what the reviews were?
No, I have no interest in the game personally.
The Crypt of the Necrodancer actually got good reviews. That was a good indie game, and that's the company, and that's the game it's based on. Oh, damn,
yeah, it did. Yeah, so again, I'll reserve judgment, I guess. I didn't know that's what it was. That explains the motion of the movements that I saw then. So, yeah, it might be cool. I don't know. Generally, I get excited anytime that they announce anything Zelda. I at least, even if I don't play it, religiously, I at least like to see that the games are good, Oh,
yeah. Well, Shinzu, what's your state of games there, guy?
I actually haven't really been gaming too much. I've just been kind of like sitting down, looking at the games that are coming out in 2019, trying to decide what games I actually want to buy and what games I kind of want to buy but probably won't buy, and then wait until they get to like the $20 bin. So I've been kind of looking at it, and there's not really much coming out this year that I'm really excited for. But we were talking about the game earlier, Sekiro Dies Twice or whatever it's called. By From Software, the guys who do Dark Souls. I bought that game today because I didn't know it was coming out this soon. I thought it was actually a later title, and I'm really excited to get down and play it. That'll be this weekend.
Very cool. Well, what about you, D? What's your state of games?
I've been playing kind of a myriad of things. I've been playing on Sega CD a working designs game called Popful Mail. So I've been playing some of that old school stuff right there. And of course, I've been playing the Switch assortment of games. Mario, Odyssey, Super Mario Kart with the kids. So just been kind of just gaming and pretty casually.
Very cool. What about you, Damok? What's your state of games there, guy?
I think I've played Bridge Crew like one day this week, but I haven't been playing games for like the last 2 weeks. I bought the girls skateboards, and I've been showing them how to skateboard. And
skateboarding? So you've been playing real-life Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
Yeah, pretty much, except I'm much older than I used to be, and I'm using alcohol to compensate for all the pain that I'm in.
Good man. Good man. That's what all rational adults do.
You cut out there, buddy.
Sorry. I said that's what all good rational adults do. Can you hear me okay?
No. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Don't you love me anymore?
I still love you. Never resolve without me. Together. Me and you.
Well, my state of games, I actually have not. I've been doing a lot of schoolwork, so I haven't played that much. But I have got to complain more rant on something that actually, Damok, you and I were talking about in chat earlier. And that's this whole predatory practice that Epic is going down. This whole... And I'm torn on it because I agree with the practice, but I'm pissed about it because, it's all PC.
Wait, like, PC political
PC
correctness?
Gaming. No, PC
gaming.
as
okay.
in personal. So I'm sure you guys have been seeing this about Epic and basically this whole pissing match between Epic and really, if you read all the stuff, it's really a pissing match that Epic is doing, and Steam is just going, well, that's kind of shitty, but whatever. I mean, Steam isn't really taking any action on it. They're just going, that kind of sucks. You're shitty. And moving on, it looks like.
No, that's not necessarily true. Steam is definitely taking action. Steam is about to announce a whole bunch of new updates to the client.
Yeah, but they're not. But updating their client. So somebody yells out and says, hey, we've got a whole plethora of games that are going to be exclusive to our, and I quote, platform, because it's not a platform, it's a friggin' launcher. That's all it is.
No cloud saves, no overlay HUD in video games, no friends list that properly fucking works, no voice chat communication. It's getting hacked all the damn time, and Steam goes, we're gonna announce a whole bunch of upgrades to our client, and we already have everything that everybody wants.
I know, but Epic is going a very, very predatory practice, including going in and mining data from Steam app. Like,
No, they're not mining data from Steam's app. They are mining data from your personal computer.
But Steam's information from your computer. So when I meant Steam app, I meant like Steam's app on your computer. Epic is going in and stealing. So basically what Epic is doing is going in and searching other files on your computer and then sending it back to their servers so that they can pull the information, which is literally the shit. Like that. And granted, this whole type of practice has been around for decades. It's just been called Trojan horses.
Well, I would argue it's been around a lot longer than that. Companies have always tried to understand and learn what the most effective ways to advertise products are. It's just that it's a completely different game now.
Yeah, but companies aren't accessing your PC via a client and then looking around your PC without you knowing it.
Oh, no, right. No, yeah,
that's what Epic is doing.
But there are third parties. Yeah, but Epic, I don't think, is the one physically doing that. They're just paying whatever third parties currently do that shit.
They're doing it through their launcher. Their launcher installed on your PC is what actually is going through your PC and doing it.
That's the conduit through which the information travels, but it's not where the information is necessarily coming from. Is my point.
No, that's where the information is coming from. Their launcher is searching your PC and pulling information. And exactly. That's my point, is that That's called spyware. That's a Trojan
Yeah,
horse.
like
That's,
last I checked, there are like literally programs designed to like prevent that. Like, hang on just a second.
Exactly. And that's
Now,
like,
it's not the first time that this has happened. Remember when Blizzard launched BattleNet, and BattleNet was collecting all the information off of your hard drive of everything, including pirated games, and reporting it back.
yes, I remember that. And Blizzard got their hand slapped, and Blizzard stopped doing that.
Yes.
So, and I can fully understand that happened in the past. It happened. Blizzard got their hand slapped. This is happening now. So
it's really weird to see, because the data being mined, Steam collects your game usage statistics. They collect your hardware statistics. But in order for Steam to operate, it has to collect a lot more information and store it. And it stores it on your PC that is not uploaded to Steam. Now you have Epic's launcher, which is harvesting data directly off of your PC, which is technically private data that even Steam doesn't harvest from you. That's
exactly.
Yeah, that's getting into lawsuit territory.
That's a really, really shitty. So let's break this down here. I'm upset. I'm not necessarily a Steam advocate, but I'm a kind of freedom of choice advocate. So if a game comes out on PC, and I'm going to use PC as the platform because PC is the platform. We're not. I don't want to get into semantics and argue. Oh well, Blizzard is a platform, and Activision has its platform. Origin is a platform. No, those are launchers. PC is the platform, and yeah, I can understand Origin saying, "Hey, we're going to sell our games through our Origin," or if you want to play our games, you've got to have the Origin. Okay, I can understand that. They're your games. You want them in your life, but all the games, I can't. I was going through and I was really racking my brain trying to find games that I could only find on Steam. And I think the only one I found that I could only find on Steam was Half-Life. Like, I couldn't find Half-Life on Humble Bundle. I couldn't find Half-Life on GOG. I couldn't find Half-Life on Epic. I couldn't find Half-Life anywhere. So, Half-Life I could only find on Steam. However, Half-Life was made by Valve, the owners of Steam. So, I kind of get that. Just like Blizzard, Diablo 3, you can only get on Blizzard's app. And I get that, because that's Blizzard's app. They have their own security features, and I get that. But Epic going out of their way to exclude Steam is what really, I don't know, it gets under my skin of like, I have a PC, so I have choice. I have an Xbox. I have an Xbox now. I've had a PS4, but for the longest time, I only had PlayStation. So when something came out for Xbox that I really wanted to play, aka Gears of War, this is just one example, or another one is Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect, I lost on that. I either went out and I bought the platform and invested in that, or I just sucked it up and said, well, you know what? It looks like I'm not going to play Mass Effect because I only have a PlayStation. And I was okay with that. And then, long story, Mass Effect 2 came out, and then Mass Effect 1 eventually came out. But, whatever. My point is that, like, on a platform, I can see exclusivity to a platform. Like, a game only comes out for PS4. Until Dawn. I love Until Dawn. I wish Until Dawn came out on PC, because I would love to crank the graphics up on that and play that in a different environment and, like, really, really crank up the visuals on that. I would love to, because I love that freaking game. I love the way it unfolds. I love the way it plays. I love the way it feels. I won't get that. It's exclusive to PlayStation. I understand that. I'm okay with that. Am I upset about that? Yeah, I'm a little upset. I want to play it on PC, but it's not there. Okay, whatever. If I want to play it, I'm going to play it on PC. Or The Impatient. The Impatient is exclusively PlayStation VR. Because I'm not going to buy PlayStation VR anytime, I will not be able to play The Impatient pretty much ever. But I'm okay with that, because that's where it was designed, that's the platform it's on, okay, yada, yada, yada. But when it comes to PC is the platform. And I'm upset that Epic is going, hey, we're buying all these exclusive stuff, and they're buying up a bunch. Obsidian's new game that's coming out, like Starpath or Starfinder or whatever the hell it is. What the hell's that game called?
Oh, I have no idea. I heard some Obsidian game was going to Epic.
I'm looking it up right now. Other Worlds. That's it. Other World. Now, I've been tracking Otherworlds for a little while now, and it looks really, really good. It looks like basically Fallout New Vegas, but sci-fi 100%, and I'm really digging that. And I was really tracking it. I was really, really getting into it. And then they announced that they're going to be coming out solely for the Epic Store. So Epic went in and got the deal and said, hey, we're going to be exclusive. Now, that disappoints me because it's a PC game. I come from the era when we used to go to the store and buy a PC game. You'd have to go to a store. And I could go to any friggin' store that sold PC games and pretty much get whatever PC game I wanted. Or I would have to find the store that sold the PC game because not every store sold every single Sierra game. So I couldn't find King's Quest IV at Babbage's, so I had to go and find Norshire Bookstore and get it there. But it was a universal thing. Like, literally, if I could find a store that sold it, that was it. It wasn't, I have to buy it here. You know, just like PlayStation games or Xbox games. I don't have to buy them at GameStop. I can get them off of Amazon. I can go to Play and Trade. There's a bunch of places I can go. I don't have to go to GameStop to get it. There is no GameStop. And I think that's the thing that's pissing me off about the Epic Store so much, is that it's an Epic Store exclusive. I can only go to the Epic Store. I can't go down to my local store and pick up a physical copy of anything that's coming out Epic Store-wise, whether it be Metro, Otherworlds, or whatever games they've got in the docket. And that upsets me. That makes me really feel like Epic is just shitting on the customer.
Well, they're really trying to corner some portion of the market.
And that's the part of me that's torn, is I get that. It's a great, to get people to come over to your platform, it is a great way to do it. You get the exclusive games that people want to play, and they'll, basically if you build it, they will come. But the practice of it in general, I mean, it's completely predatory in that they're just like, we're making sure that you come over to our shitty environment. And the argument has been, oh, Epic is new, they're trying to figure it all out. They're getting it up there.
I can see how it benefits them. I don't really see how it benefits us.
Well, here's the argument that I actually have been reading on Twitter. And, any game developer that's listening, don't think that I'm being shitty towards you, but I'm not like, oh, I'm down on you. It's not like I'm not going to buy your games because of this. You might wait till I find it prudent for me to buy your games, but I'm still going to, if I want your game, I'm going to buy your game anyway. But a lot of what I've been reading across Twitter and Facebook specifically, are from developers hey, exclusives have been on PC for a while now, so why are you complaining about it now? Well, exclusives is one portion of what I'm complaining about. The rest of it are the predatory practices that are going along with it.
Right.
Steam is a very full, robust system, and they're coming out with new stuff every single day. Developers going over to the Epic Store, I understand, hey, if you want to go over to the Epic Store and you want to also sell on the Epic Store, go for the friggin' gold. But if you're going to cut out another player, I mean, one, you're just literally saying, I don't care about the customer, I care about the money that's going into my pocket. And yeah, I know it's business. I know it's all about money. I know this. I'm not naive. I understand this. However, it's your job as a developer to make sure that I don't understand that, to make sure that I don't get that, to paint me a rosy friggin' picture that, yeah, we're doing this for you, we're not doing this for us. When you do this, when you literally just go out and you make statements like, well, hey, they just out-businessed you, whatever. When you make statements like that, it literally makes me look at those developers and go, you're shitting on us. Epic is shitting on us, and you're okay with it. What do you got, D?
Well, I bet you, and this is kind of like food for thought, I bet you Epic, I bet Epic made those changes in the user agreement, which nobody ever reads.
I sure as Falk read.
I tend to read too, but I know that's kind of their defense is that, hey, you're supposed to read it. It's a service agreement, and it counts as a legally binding contract. My problem with that is they force you to. They can make changes at any time, and a lot of times they have it hidden in a bunch of legalese, and most common people can't understand that depth of legalese. And it's like the user agreement just to play a game is like 30 pages long.
If I could add something to that, though, if legalese is written such that it is confusing to like the lay person, then technically, if a judge were to rule on that, I should like to think they have to abide by the idea that if it's confusing, you side with the defendant, essentially.
Yeah, with the customer.
Right.
It really depends where you are, because sometimes, with that, they go, well, it's in the contract, and the judge would be, that's it. There have been times in the past, though, where the judge deviated from the legalese because he's like, in all good conscience, this is predatory. This takes advantage of people. It's meant to be, really confusing. I'm going to vote in favor of the customer. So it's been, when I studied a little bit of law, like contract law that I did for my degree, and I'm by no means an expert. This is only just like some classes.
Wait a minute. You mean from the degree of the school that went out of business?
Shut your pie hole. That was in good standing until this current administration fucked the whole thing.
Yeah, and he went in for business, so a school that taught business also went on this.
Go on, man. Sorry.
The buildings of that school aren't even in good standing. Don't lie.
Go on, D. Go on.
Anyways, I have completely derailed from my trail of thought. So you bastards. You bastards.
Well, Shinzu, you had something. What did you have, man?
Bastard.
So I'm just kind of like on the fence about this whole Epic thing, Epic exclusive, because in all honesty, I'm going to wait and to see how before I really cast judgment. I understand that Steam has kind of been a dickhole over the period of time that it has been. Many complaints, done good things, and they've done super, super shitty things. But I think Epic sticking it to Steam the way that they're doing it is purely just a jab at Valve as a company. And I don't think it's really meant to screw over the consumer base.
I know, but the outcome is it's screwing over the consumer. What do you got, Damok?
Okay, so I'm a Valve fan, and I'd probably suck Gaben's dick any day of the fucking week. But Steam was the same way when it launched with Half-Life 2 and forced you to install the client. And then they started making their games exclusive until they opened them up to the rest of the sales market. The whole thing with Epic keeping games restricted, you can't buy it on Amazon, you can't buy it on Humble Bundle, you can't buy it on Discord, you can't buy it on itch.io, Green Man Gaming. I have a list of companies that sell Steam games at different prices. Some of them are really good, some are shitty, and you can do all of that. I don't know. Epic is really, really pissing me off with this whole, you only buy on the Epic store and it's the price that we set.
Yeah, but I say in the defense of Steam. So back when they were saying, hey, you got to install the Steam client to play Half-Life, that was their DRM. Like, that was their piracy way of saying, hey, look, if you want to play our game, you got to check in with our server so that we know you're not pirating. That was, at the time, that was their way of protecting their assets. I mean, people still pirated it all day long, but that was their kind of, like, battle against that. And at the time, I can understand that's what they're doing. This, what Epic is doing, this is not about piracy. This is about strictly sticking it to everybody else and forcing people to come to their platform, to their launcher. Because I'm not even going to call it a platform, because it's not. It's a launcher.
I'm not even so much concerned about that as I am the complete invasion of privacy.
Well, that goes along with it. It's just
yeah.
the practices that Epic is doing are 100% predatory.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's not to benefit the customer in any way, shape, or form. And it's not to benefit the developer in any way, shape, or form. It's to benefit Epic.
I'm thinking about just removing Epic from my computer entirely.
Dude, I read about that thing where Epic was mining data from your Steam games, and I immediately removed Epic from my...
Oh, it's just not Steam games.
No. It's all over. It's your entire computer that's searching. I understand.
The big concern right now is that if you have the Epic launcher and you have an Epic account and you have, let's say, fuck it, dude, I use Cheat Engine on some Steam games every once in a while because I don't like the super clicky games that take me months to get going on them. If you have Cheat Engine running, you will automatically be banned from Fortnite even if you don't have Fortnite installed. If you get banned from Fortnite, your Epic Games Store account is perma-banned. You're done.
So don't download cheats.
So, but that's my point. Is that like at that point in time? Yeah, and I'm a person that I say, hey, look, cheats are cheats. Okay, like back in the day in Doom, clipping through a wall because you've played through Doom 150 times. Now you just want to friggin' have fun. Okay, I get it. And people who cheat, I'm not going to knock them. If you want to cheat, you want to cheat. I'm of a different school. I don't like cheats. And now, when it's cheating on a single player game, like those clicky games, there's no multiplayer aspect to a lot of them.
Right. So I'm playing Idle Heroes, right? And
exactly.
It takes months and months and months to get the money to unlock the heroes and blah, blah, blah. those are the games that I'm just like, let me up this so I can get the thing going, and then I can just let it run in the background and go from there.
Yeah, if it's a single-player game that you're cheating in, all you're doing at that point in time is affecting you.
No, you're cheating, and you are cheating the spirit of gaming.
Well,
you're
but
a bad
the thing
person.
is, but here's
Bad
the thing, though.
person.
You're only affecting yourself. Everybody around you isn't affected by it. So if you cheat in a PvP game or a PvEVE game, PvEVE game, God, did I say that right? I hope I did. If you're cheating in something like that where there's a specific progression and there's a competition between other people, then that I can understand. Okay, people don't want to cheat there. People don't want to have cheat there. And people who cheat in those games, I honestly think, they need to reevaluate how they're playing games, because if they're cheating, they're really just cheating to get a higher rank so that they have bragging rights. But really, how did they get there? Now they're going to be living that whole thing of, I can't let anybody know I cheated, because if they do, they're going to be ostracized. Nada. I mean, back in the Counter-Strike days, I tried that aimbot because I was like, well, let me see how this thing works. So I got an aimbot and I installed it, and I played 2 matches with it. And I literally walked around with my knife, and I got headshots with my knife on about 30 different people. And I went, this is the dumbest thing, and it is so frigging boring. Great. I have a 30-to-1 kill death ratio, but this is so boring.
Man, you played Counter-Strike wrong. All you gotta do is get that MAC-10 and aim for the upper torso, and you get headshots like crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. With the aimbot, all I had to do was walk up near them and press the button, and it knifed them in the head and killed them. Like, that was it. Like, I wouldn't even have to fire my gun to give away my position. I just ran up and boop, and that was it. And it was so boring. Like, it was literally so boring. And I said, okay, well, now I've cheated in my life. I can say I cheated in Counter-Strike. I'm done. What do you got, D?
Next on G.N.A. Podcast, Drunk Cecil does tongue twisters.
Yeah. Sally sells by the sea. See, I can't say that because I got a friggin' list because of these damn braces.
Excuses.
I know. I'm like assholes. Everybody's got them in there.
For those who don't know, Cecil's actually a 13-year-old and just got his braces.
I am, guys. I got my braces, guys. It's great.
So is he gonna hop on Fortnite and insult our mothers?
I am. Your mom was so fat that somebody told her it was chilly outside, so she went and grabbed a bowl.
I say, your mom was so fat, Thanos had to snap twice.
Now, what about the 31 emails that I have from the past 9 months saying that somebody's trying to access my Epic Games account?
Same here. I've ignored it at this point.
No, I counted them today. In the last, 8 months, I have 31 emails saying that somebody's trying to hack my account.
They're from, India, China, and other shit places.
Yeah. Haven't they been hacked several times at this point?
But that's my point, is that the Epic Store, the Epic Launcher, the whole Epic environment is such a shitty environment. And people are toting, oh, well, it's the better one of the ones that are out there. It's like saying Miller is the champagne of beers. Yeah, it's the champagne if champagne is fizzy water. Okay, it's better than the other pieces of shit. So it's the best piece of shit out there. I mean, come on, now. Really, guys?
Hold on a second.
Like the argument keeps, and I keep reading over and over again that the argument is, oh, well, they're new, they're still trying to develop, if they had just brought out a whole bunch of features and they were all broken at once, nobody would like them. Okay, well, come to the market with some good stuff before you start slinging shit.
There's always going to be a douche and a turd sandwich to choose from.
I'm gonna channel my inner Peter Griffin here. Really grinds my gears. Just Jesus Christ.
Now, I'm a little offended right now because, Miller is the champagne of beers, man. If you've ever played Edward 40 Hands like I have, then you're going for those Miller High Lifes because you can down them because they're just water.
This is exactly. I've already told you guys about the Miller High Life keg incident where I'm surrounded by a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds, and there's a keg of friggin' High Life, and they're all passing out drunk, and I'm on my 30th cup going, guys, I don't even have a buzz yet. You guys got to step this up because I'm not feeling a damn thing. It was literally, all it did was make me piss an immense amount. I was extremely hydrated.
All right, so what about Steam quote-unquote exclusives?
So now that's where I'm looking at. Like, I desperately tried to find Steam exclusives, and the only ones I could really find was like Half-Life. And I think I found Left 4 Dead, but I found other places where I can actually purchase Left 4 Dead.
Well, I mean, there were games that came out exclusive to Steam, and I think most of the exclusive games have been ported onto other because they were successes. Well, Portal was exclusive.
But Portal was made by Valve.
Right.
But see, now I don't have a problem. I have zero problem with a company who makes a game and says, we're going to run our launcher or for our storefront, and we're going to keep it, let's say exclusive here for a little while. I don't mean that because they...
So, what about the several other AAA titles that are technically in a weird gray area of Steam exclusive, such as No Man's Sky is only on Steam, Total War series is only on Steam, Civilization is only on Steam, and hundreds, if not thousands, of indie games are only on Steam, technically.
Now, here's my question, though. Are they only on Steam because Steam bought them out and said, hey, you're going to exclusively be sold here? Or are they only on Steam because the developer said, well, we're going to sell here because it's got the storefront we're looking.
Now, the storefront is very all over the place, honestly. So if you don't know, there's Indie Gala, there's One Play, there's Groupies, there's Story Bundle, there's Fanatical, there's Lazy Guys Bundle, there's itch.io, there's Green Man Gaming, there's Bundle in a Box, you can buy games from Gamersgate, you can even buy games on Discord, not to mention Humble Bundle, but all of those games link to Steam Key.
Xbox also has an indie game title that game developers can create and launch games off of.
But like, here's my point. So I want to point out, like, I'm gonna pick on a game, Project Zomboid. So when I heard about Project Zomboid, it was on a platform called like Decidia or Deciria or Discidia or something like that. It was another launcher, and when I first heard about it, it was only there, and I went, well, shit. Let me go check them out. And I was interested in Project Zomboid, so I checked it out. And I was like, well, you know what? I want to invest in this project. This looks good. It was in their version of early access, and I put quotes up. It was actually, I think it was before Steam had their early, like, ramped up, which was a long time ago. I understand that. Don't call me old yet. Well, fuck it, I am old. Anywho, so I was looking at Project Zomboid, and they were on this other platform. Now, this other platform was not doing. Eventually, Steam did their early access thing, and Project Zomboid shifted to Steam. And that Discidia or whatever the hell it was called, that was circling the drain, and they left, and they finally canceled out. Well, they were still being sold there while they were being sold on Steam. But as that other store said, hey, we're clocking out, we're shutting our doors, they, the company that had Project Zomboid, and I'm forgetting the name of them now, they said, hey, look, if you've got the game here, we will extend you and say, hey, look, you can get a Steam code for this game if you own it. Now, they still sold it over there, but they brought it to Steam. Now, my question on these games that are on Steam, like No Man's Sky, okay, it's on Steam, but is it there? Is it on Steam because Steam said, hey, you can only sell here? Which I don't think is the case. Or is it on Steam because they looked at it and said, well, Steam is our best option out there. Right? Everything else is pretty bad. Like GOG is, it's not great. It's not, thankfully it's not Origin. Origin is really bad. But it's not that, so it's got that going for it.
Well, I mean, you can buy EA games on Steam, and you just have to have the Origin launcher because EA finally recognized that, hey, people use Steam for their game collection. But as far as No Man's Sky, you can buy it on, I mean, literally, there's at least 25 or more different sites that you can buy No Man's Sky at different prices and all of that, but you get a Steam key.
But that's my question. Is that because Hello Games said, we're just backing Steam? I don't think that's because Steam has said, we're making No Man's Sky an exclusive. If No Man's Sky said, hey, you know what, we're going to sell over on the Epic Store too, Steam would probably go, okay, I don't care. Like, all right, you're selling it there as well. And I wouldn't care if they were selling it on the Epic Store as well. People had the Epic Store and they wanted to buy it through the Epic Store. I wouldn't care about that. My issue is Epic doing this extremely predatory practice of we're locking other people out. Like, I can't go out and buy Metro Exodus on a Humble Bundle, I don't believe. I can't go out and buy it on Amazon. I have to go to the Epic Store.
That is what Epic is doing, unfortunately. And it's a good point. You brought it up in chat earlier. There's a difference between exclusive and exclusion. And they are doing exclusive to where you have to buy it on their store. It will not be available in any other form except for their storefront. You can't buy it on Amazon. You can't buy it on many other platforms out there to do it. And it's getting a little ridiculous. If I have to install the launcher, cool. But if I can buy the game somewhere else because, hey, their regional pricing, if you haven't looked at it, Steam has the same issue. Regional pricing is a bitch. But if they do it that way, some people in Australia, for instance, get really fucked over when it comes to pricing of games. But itch.io and Humble Bundle help them out a huge amount, and they can get the Steam games for a fraction of the price, which is basically what we're paying for it here in the States. But it's weird. Now Epic is saying you can literally only buy it on our store. You can literally only play it off our launcher. I don't mind, and I hate saying this, I don't mind playing a game off of a separate launcher. There's a couple Uplay games, Splinter Cell for instance. I love playing the Splinter Cell games, and I have to have the Uplay launcher installed. But it links in my Steam. I buy the games through Steam. I wait for a big winter sale, and it's fantastic. I can buy Splinter Cell on so many different storefronts, and that's fantastic. What Epic is doing, I'm really pissed off about, and I refuse to buy any game that's coming out on the Epic Store exclusive. I was looking forward to Metro. Awesome. I wanted to play a game that was the 3D version of Factorio, which is Satisfactory. I was really looking forward to that game. And then they announced it's an Epic Store exclusive, but it's Epic Store Early Access exclusive. So fuck it. I'm going to wait until it's all hashed out and then buy it next year once they start releasing the DLC of their completed game.
Yeah, I hear you. And I had a thought a second ago. But anyways, what do you got, D?
Well, and I was just kind of thinking over still about, like, say, the personal data thing. With as many times as Epic gets targeted, they get hacked. One of my other biggest complaints is they're storing all this data, they're capturing all this data, and just holding on to it without you really realizing it or knowing. They're scanning the entire PC. It's like, okay, you want to see, check for stuff like, say, piracy and stuff like that. Okay. Check for cheating. Okay. But then you go, if you're catching all the data, you're also catching my banking info. If I do online banking, you've got that. And now, because you don't properly secure your shit, now so do the assholes out there, the bad guys. And I think that wholesale just scanning and snagging all the data off people's computers is absolutely an abomination.
I think that really comes down to the fact of what data they're taking. I don't think they're taking everything. I don't think they're copying all your data. If you do online banking, you do online banking. It's not like they're taking what you do on the online banking. What they're basically doing...
It sounds like they're capturing, like, everything they can.
No, they're not. Yes, but they're capturing the fact that you went to that website. So, cool. The worst thing people know is that you have a credit card from X, Y, and Z bank, but the first moment you make a payment online with that credit card, it's most likely already out there on the internet. Once that shit goes out, it's out, and it's never coming back in the most private way that it had before you made that online purchase.
Yeah, but it depends on how much they're looking at. Like, if I log into online banking, I don't know what degree Epic is spying on my computer. Are they literally recording what my passwords? How much are they recording?
I think that's being a little overly paranoid. The most likely probably concentrating on is what games you used and possibly when the last modified date was to see exactly what kind of games your particular gender age uses and plays at that point in time.
Well, hold on. Let's take a look at that, though. So we're going to take a look at this from a risk assessment point of view. If a company is already on your computer scanning files that aren't associated to it, it's not a far fetch to say that they're scanning other files on your computer. So they're already doing it.
Blizzard got in trouble because not only were they capturing game files and DLL files and all of that, they were capturing your cookies and they were capturing your token logins. And
exactly.
All that. That's why Warden got in so much trouble with Blizzard and they faced that huge lawsuit and they immediately dumped all the data. The biggest thing that is scary about Epic Games is who owns 40% of Epic Games.
Blizzard?
No, you guys don't know that 40% of Epic Games is by the Chinese government?
Yes. Yes, actually. I was going to say that. I was unsure. But yeah.
What?
I read something about that.
But that's my point, is that if they've already got their hand, they've already been caught red-handed accessing data that is not. So so Steam, let's take a look at Steam
and any vulnerabilities they open.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick on Steam because they're really the other side of this coin that we're talking about. So Steam, they mine data. We all know that they do. And in fact, if you read their end user license, it says in there that they're going to mine data. However, it says explicitly that they're going to mine data that's associated with their client or apps or games that they've installed or that you've purchased through their system. So if I install Wildlands on my machine, I bought it through Steam, Steam is going to calculate what my frame rate was. Hardware statistics while it's happening because it's accessing that hardware. They're going to access time that I've played in the game. And oftentimes you're going to see that information displayed up on your screen. So I've just pulled up Wildlands. It says I've played for 20 hours. Last time I played was 3/15/29. Okay, well they've mined that data from me in some fashion. And I get that. And that's what they even said in their end user license, that if you realize that that's what they're going to do. I'm okay with that. I accepted that and said, I'm okay with Steam gathering that data because it's information that Steam has already, it's something that they already provided. So I'm okay because it's part of Steam. It's something I bought through. It's information that they're using to make their service better. I get that. I'm okay with that. Now, I read through Epic's when I first installed it, and I don't remember them saying anything about mining data from my computer that had nothing to do with that.
They didn't, but they have changed it since then, and I haven't reread it. But they also put in their end-user license agreement, like everybody else, that they can change it at any time they want.
Understood, but on most end-user license, if they change it, they have to alert their customers that this change is happening.
Yeah, that a major change happens, yeah.
It's just like with PlayStation. You get an update on it, and they update some features, and those features are going to do X, Y, and Z. They've got to tell you about it. They've got to give you a complete end-user license that you read and you accept when you do it. What do you got, Shinzu?
So going back to what Damok said, now, just to be fair, he is right that Tencent does own a good portion of Epic. Not the majority, but a good portion of it. I do want to point out, though, that Tim Sweeney has stated categorically, whether this be true or false, just take it how you want it, it's not meant to be a conversation topic, that he has stated that Tencent does not receive any of the information that the Epic launcher gathers. I'm just saying it's like I'm not meant to argue or anything like that because I don't know. Like I'm not in the background. I can't see what they're doing.
It's
so
funny
everything
because
outside
it's
of that
like,
is pure conjecture.
Well, it's funny because it's like if Epic is spying on their like user base, right? But then they're owned by this tech company, Tencent, and then they turn around and they go like, don't worry, they're not getting any of the info. It's like, how much you want to bet that if that were the arrangement, then Tencent would just be spying on Epic as a company?
It's very possible, but at that point in time, a company like Epic that involves Tencent, which is a company that also makes and helps create software for companies outside of just Epic, from both the Chinese government and things like that.
For sure.
You would hope that Epic would have what would be called, as Cecil said it earlier, a risk assessment, where they take software code and look at things and see where the network is going and all this other things, where they can basically tell where something's dialing out to, and they take a look at it and say, hey, this is going to a server in the back end of a Denny's parking lot in China. That seems to be weird to us, and we should probably look into this. So there's a lot of things that would have to send off red flags, where either Epic, in my opinion, Epic is doing what they're saying. They're gathering information, which I'm not saying is right or wrong. It's pretty shitty of them to do. But I believe they themselves believe that it's self-contained, that they're not sharing it with other companies, that they have it totaled. Yeah. Otherwise, they would probably be more concerned with security and things that are going on. Because obviously, if Tencent was getting that information, which just taking the cell phone Huawei? Yeah, Huawei is no longer allowed to be used by any U.S. official, and I don't think you can even get a Huawei phone in the United States anymore. I think a ban on them right now.
Definitely sanctions.
Yeah, sanctions against them.
Or tariffs, rather.
But it was also learned that OnePlus was dialing out unencrypted information over their SIM cards, a Chinese server, and nothing became of that. So, I mean, it really depends upon your avenue, and because we can't see the entire scope of the situation, I don't think we can really kind of argue about how much data they're gathering, what they're doing with such gathering, and how well it's being protected. Now, you say that Epic gets hacked on occasion. Yeah, absolutely. Steam gets hacked on occasion. Every company in the world gets hacked on occasion. It really depends upon how often those companies kind of bounce attacks would be the kind of like the thing I'd be looking at. If somebody hacked Epic 10 times and got in 3 out of the 10 times, I'd be like, that's really shitty. But like Steam has been hacked a number of times. JCPenney's been hacked a number of times. Sears has been hacked a number of times. Best Buy got hacked. Like there's all these companies have been hacked.
Hold on.
But they're also not scanning my whole computer for data either.
So I've got to put that into a perspective. So let's put this into an analogy. This is like you going to the company that you work for, and you give them your social security number so that they can check your background and all that other fun stuff. You give them your name, your address, you give them how much you're going to get paid, and all that fun stuff. And you give it to them. And then the next company that decides that once you give them that information, they're not only going to get that information, but they're also going to show up to your house. And they're going to get your shoe size, they're going to get your clothes that you bought, they're going to get your receipts from the last time that you went shopping, and they're going to get all that information that you didn't provide for them, that you didn't say that they could have, but they're going to take that information back.
I mean, it must just be me because I just honestly, personally, I don't really care. I don't really find it that interesting. I don't really have anything that I really care about. I don't major on personally.
And I can understand that perspective, and I can respect that. But you gotta break this down to the lowest common denominator. Not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels that, hey, you know what, I don't care, I got nothing to hide. Go ahead and take my data, my information is inherently mine. And if I don't explicitly give you rights to it, you should have no rights to it.
And no matter if you don't have anything to hide or not, quote unquote, it still sucks if they get enough data where an identity thief could steal your fucking identity, which it's not cool.
Yeah, so this is, if I could jump in, this is kind of the same thing where people like to shout at atomic bombs. You know, people like hate atomic weapons, right? But what they kind of fail to see whenever they discuss that topic is that it is physically possible for us to split atoms. Like, that's what's fucked up. That we can do that in reality, right? The same thing is true of all this computer hacking bullshit that we all hate. Right? It's not the fact that this is something that people are trying to engineer into computers. It's the fact that this is the result of that technology. These are the faults of it. And we can complain about companies doing this all we want, but like, I mean, in reality, if it wasn't them, it'd be somebody else, and we'd be pissed at them. And so I don't really know how to fix it. You know, like I don't know what kind of solution there could ever be to this problem, because I don't think we're ever going to figure out perfect security.
I agree completely. However, I also think that we should take those people who are doing it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's not to say, right, that's not to say I think...
Broadcast this to say, hey, they're doing this, guys. You've got to know this.
Well, that's also not to say that I think that it should go without repercussion either. You know, like, I think that this kind of crap, especially when it's done nefariously, it should be punished. You know, maybe not severely, but like there should be some kind of deterrent there, right?
I honestly think that the worst offender, too, of any of this, like, as much as you guys can bitch and much as it sucks for Epic to kind of do this, your cell phone is so much worse. It is so much worse.
But hold on. You agree on everything on your cell phone. You say yay or nay to Google or Apple having it.
Yeah, that's why I don't really have any apps on my phone.
Yeah, if you read the end user licenses.
You agree to the user license.
Exactly.
For
you
whatever
agree to
app you download. This includes the Epic app, though. Like, you agree to it.
Hang on. I think there's a big difference between paying $60 for a game and downloading a free app. If I download a free app, I understand that the price is my information that app access. I understand that. I know that's the trade-off. If I purchase like a $60 game and people are then taking my data against my knowledge, like, to me, that's bullshit. Like, there's no way.
You can't download the game without downloading the app. You have to download the Epic launcher first to get the game.
No,
However,
hold on. The Epic launcher, in its terms, does not say that it is harvesting data off of your computer in any way, shape, or form.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure
it
it's in there
doesn't.
somewhere.
It does not.
Have you read it from beginning, top to bottom, sideways and left?
I have, because I
held it up to a mirror just to make sure it wasn't written backwards.
I held it up to heat to make sure there wasn't invisible ink.
Did Nick Cage come in?
He did. And then we stole the Declaration of Independence.
But, I mean, I read mine all the way because I just secured my Epic account with the two-factor authentication, and, I'm still getting emails nonstop about people trying to hack my account and all of that. And then in that, it does not say that they are collecting data other than the same stuff that Steam says. They're collecting your gameplay statistics. They're collecting your friends list. That's it.
See, this is why I say, if one of the other episodes we had, I mentioned the idea of creating an app that just kind of pings random website data as to basically create like a smoke screen of data that companies would have to mine through to try and find like the more valid. I feel like creating an app like that, or like some kind of program that could run in like the background of EC or whatever, I feel like that's still a good fucking idea.
Well, it's like VPNs nowadays. You almost have to have a VPN to bounce yourself off of another freaking country so you can feel safe about what you're downloading or surfing. I don't want to download a VPN just so I can simply download a freaking Epic game.
I use a VPN all the time. I use NordVPN legitimately all the time for a whole bunch of stuff, and as much as I'm not trying to delve into the dark web so I can see any CP or anything like that, I use the Tor browser a lot.
Well, like, I can understand it for, like, for instance, when I was over in England, they had stuff on Netflix that we don't have over here. And it's because of the licensing that they have all over the place. But it's stuff that I really wanted to watch, like Enterprise, or, the Star Trek Discovery and Big Bang Theory. Like, Big Bang Theory, that's a great friggin' show, and it's not on Netflix over here, but it's on Netflix in England.
What do you mean? It's on Netflix over here.
It is fucking not.
It used to be.
It has not been for quite some time.
Yeah, that's probably. I don't know. I've not been a fan of that show for quite some time either.
No, only the first 4 seasons were decent. The rest of it was garbage.
I friggin' love that show.
Yeah, it's not
I used to sit there and watch it with my parents, and that's where I just dug it. And that's why it's got a little nostalgia for me. It's just that whole watching it with my parents thing.
Well, it was like the first of its kind of a show, you know.
But that's my point. Is that like using a VPN to get over to watch stuff over in England that you can't get here. Now, I understand that it's technically shisty and it's against Netflix's policies and all that crap. I get that. But, I mean, really, that whole bullshit about you can't get licensed material here because Netflix didn't only license it over in England. It's kind of bullshit, in my opinion. But that's
I almost feel it should be based on the type of currency you're giving them rather than your location in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm giving you green money.
Yeah, I'm giving you like American dollars. I want American access to my shit.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
Make Netflix great again.
Yeah.
Sounds like Netflix needs some freedom, yo.
They do. They fucking do. They absolutely. Well, we don't have any questions this time around. It's too bad, though. Really, we did have some freaking questions.
I have a question.
What do you have?
Who hurt you?
Epic hurt me. Hurt me deep. Cut me deep.
Show us on the doll where he touched you.
Show us on the doll where the bad man touched you. Show
us on your CPU where the data touched.
Oh,
data,
like,
no.
Staying there.
Like I've been reading about this for the past week on that fucking Epic store, and it's been a slow burn because
like gonorrhea,
worse, like hepatitis. You know, it's one of those things that burns and then comes back and burns. It's just a gift that keeps on giving. No, but seriously, I've been like brewing over this, and I've been trying to tell myself, you're making more of it than you're making a mountain out of a molehill. You really are. And then more information comes out about the shitty stuff that
you can't really ignore it.
Damn, you know, like I can't just sit here and say, meh, it's okay, whatever. Like this,
yeah.
Like, and I understand, and I totally understand that Steam has had a monopoly on PC gaming for a long time, and other companies have tried to come up and make their storefront and have failed miserably because Steam is just a juggernaut right now, both in feature and game quantity. I'm not gonna say quality because they've got a lot of shovelware on Steam, and you've got to take some time to dig through all of that shit to get to some good game.
Sure.
Bring the soap.
But on that same side of the coin, Steam is also coming out there and saying, look, we don't give a shit. If you want to publish a game that is you matching some tiles of a nude chick on there, and then at the end of it, she does some motions like she's rubbing one out, if you want to sell that game, go for the fucking gold. Okay, fine. If I've got to get through that shovelware to go get to Frostpunk, it's Frostpunk. If I got to get through all that shovelware to get to a good game, okay, fine, I'll get through that shovelware. That's the price I'm going to pay to get there.
Yeah. It sounds like very reminiscent of kind of how I felt after learning like what the NSA does, essentially.
Go on.
Well, it's like the same kind of story, how like they're just mining data and nobody is really any the wiser. They're also like nobody's really aware of how much data the NSA actually does mine. It's a lot more than you might think. Like,
Well, they have all the dick coins.
all the what?
I said dick coins instead of bitcoins.
Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you could employ something as strong as the NSA to kind of cripple Bitcoin overnight, essentially, if they really wanted to. I don't know if they would ever really do that.
They had a much better idea to fuck over Bitcoin.
Just let it try to take hold. It's essentially...
Just make it legal and add it to Wall Street. Hey, you guys can now invest. There it went. As soon as the government touches something,
Bitcoin as an analogy, right? Bitcoin as an analogy has the same exact kind of architect to it that the Dutch tulips used to. I do not suspect it will be sustainable.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, before we get too political here, we'll finish on this very minor note, and this will make Damok at least laugh. I am currently pouring out, because I've run out of Pocahontas, I am currently pouring out a Licking Hole Creek Craft Brewery, 17th Street Farmers Market Shaco Stout.
Oh, fuck that, dude. Fuck.
Forget a sentence. You had to get through like a fucking the first chapter in a book to get to stout.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
even
no,
know
no.
if you're talking about
No.
whiskey or what.
No. This was all Shadow's fucking fault. We went there, and he grabbed a beer off the shelf, and he was like, hey, this is like 10 minutes from my apartment. This beer is fucking good. Blah, 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 blah. And we bought it. I took one sip. The girlfriend took one sip out of hers. We poured that shit down the fucking drain.
You gotta understand, you're taking beer advice from a guy that subsists solely, and I don't know how this is possible. Doctors would probably be completely stumped, solely on Doritos and fucking Mountain Dew.
Who
a
who
good
made
point.
that title though? Was it Herman Melville?
I don't know.
I was just going to ask, does that label have an About the Author section?
Actually, yeah, it should. Look at that.
It
About
just
the man
basically
who wrote
says he
this.
poured it out before he finished the title.
Dude, how are you drinking that? Because legitimately, I took one sip and I was like, this is kind of awkward. This is like, it's that uber hipster fucking, it's non-GMO everything product. It tasted like fucking compost.
That's not GMO. Probably is compost.
It literally tastes like burnt dirt. That's what this beer tastes like. And
Man, it's essentially compost.
like, I don't like... I haven't liked every single beer that I've drank on this show, but most of them I find something to like about. It's my sunny disposition. I find something to like about everything. This beer, I'm literally drinking to get it out of my fridge. And I'm drunk enough now that I think I can muscle through it and not care.
Nope, 2 sips in, and I poured mine down the drain. The girlfriend took a sip and said absolutely fucking not, and poured it down the drain.
You know what I laughed at I found in the store the other day? Organic bananas.
What the fuck?
It's like, yeah, they're organic. It's like, non-GMO organic bananas. It's like bananas exist solely because of genetic modification. At least the ones in the store in this day, they're monoculture. They exist solely because of that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
If you've ever seen...
Yes, I am carbon-based.
If you've ever seen a banana as like an heirloom, as like an heirloom seed, where it's like, this has never been touched by man. This is the original, but they're fucking terrible. They're chock full of seed. They're practically inedible as a fruit to us.
Have you seen a pre-GMO, like a pre-hybridization watermelon?
Probably
Oh,
Oh
not.
my
yeah.
god,
Squash?
let's not get into this.
No,
Jesus.
take like a watermelon, right? And instead of just the little thin white rind around, it's like a cross section. It goes around and it makes like a cross. And you got like 4 little compartments where there's some red, like the red meat of the fruit. And it's completely chock full of seeds. Like, you'd be eating more white rind than anything else.
Yeah, but you can still, you don't have to keep saying, hey, look, this crop here yielded more flesh than that crop.
It's
But that's
still
genetic
Organically
modification.
Yeah.
modified. You
No,
can
but that's still
organically modify it.
that's
That's
still a
still
genetic
modification.
I
modification.
get it, I'm making a joke. Y'all need to change your panties.
No.
can't.
On
need
next
to get
week's
educated.
show,
the new one, so I mean, I guess I'm just gonna sit here and wallow in my own.
God,
Organic
this beer is
fucking babies.
sucking the more and more I drink it.
Well,
next
duh, it's
week's
like
show
Narragansett
is
probably.
all GMO.
Hang on. Can I add real quick? Because I feel like this is a really important point to make.
No, this motion has been denied.
Regarding it. No,
Hold
this
on,
is just
let
it's
me
just
let me
good.
mute Shinzu. Hold on, let me mute him. Go ahead.
It's just good knowledge. So the idea that GMOs, right, are somehow different when we modify them in a lab very fast rather than having to wait generations for certain mutations to come about. So this assumes that no natural mutations can ever occur that would be harmful to, which if you look at anything that is poisonous, that is obviously untrue. So there's no sense in saying that natural organic evolution is somehow better than what we can accomplish in a lab. If you look at it from that perspective, the fact that dangerous things have evolved anyway. So I just wanted to say that. That's it.
Yeah, a fucking lionfish didn't start out being like, hey, I'm going to be all poisonous and shit. They started out as something.
So next week's show, we're all going to go vegan and only eat ultra-organic foods and not have anything GMO processed. It'd be
and
a
I'm going
great
to poop
topic.
like a fiend.
Oh, fuck, dude. Fuck you for that goddamn stupid-ass Pharaoh. I don't know what the hell that is, but I spend a fucking lot of time on the toilet, man. I lose a lot of weight every time I eat that in the food.
You're welcome.
Oh, natural, healthy. It makes you regular. Regular means constant.
Means you regularly shit your pants.
On that note, article. Where can people find you at, man?
Right here at This Is Article. Also on Instagram is I Got Cronies. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, Outstanding CF2, Xbox Live. Hit me up.
Nice. Shinzi, where can people find you at, man?
People can find me here rolling around the podcast occasionally. People can also find me on Twitter as Secret Solvent, on Secret Solvent, all one, and also on Twitch as Secret, which used to do gaming with Cecil every Wednesday, and we keep meaning to get back into it, but we really haven't decided on. Eventually, that'll be back. It's all Cecil's fault. Totally his fault that he hasn't chosen another game.
Bitch.
I'm actually lying. It's my fault. I was supposed to do.
Bitch.
Oh, bitch.
What about you, D? Where can people find you at, man?
Oh, bitch. People can find me on my website, microbrew with a Z instead of an S.com. You can find me, same thing, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I've got my own Discord channel, Microbrew Gamers. I also am mostly on the G.N.A podcast Discord, along with Haunting the Yeah Dude Gamers, Mulehorn Gaming, Slow Speed Run, and Josh of All Trades, and TCP.
TCP or TPC?
TPC, because I'm dyslexic.
Where can people find you at, Damok?
I troll the Discord from time to time. That's where you'll find me all the time.
And I'm Cecil Xavier, your host. Fuck, man. I can't stop laughing. All right, hold on. I'm Cecil Xavier, your host. You can find me on Cecil vs. Games on Twitter, Cecil Xavier everywhere else, Ustream, Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, Discord. You can find me on the TPC Discord, G.N.A Podcast Discord, Microbrew Gamers if he's a dickhead Discord, Josh of All Trades, Geek Squash, fucking A, I just forgot one. Josh of All Trades and Yeah Dude Gamers, that was it. Forgot him. Sorry, guy. But yeah, go check them out too. They're pretty cool. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Reviews help people find the show, so if you enjoy listening to us, let other people know. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, Player FM, Spreaker, MyTuner, Your Listen, and Spotify. In fact, that's where I've been listening to G.N.A mostly now, through Spotify. If we aren't someplace, let us know. We'll upload there. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook. Just search at G.N.A Podcast, all one word. You can join that. You can join the Discord chat where we rant on about whatever and get games going and all sorts of other fun stuff. Just see the pinned tweet. We do game show night every first Saturday of the month. So we do that at mixer.com/G.N.A podcast. We do Steam code giveaways. That's actually all, well, I say sponsored. We get all of our codes bought from Humble Bundle. So any money that we've actually made from Humble Bundle, we've used to purchase codes from Humble Bundle, and then we use those codes to give away during our game show night. Speaking of Humble Bundle, Damok, can you tell us about Humble Bundle?
No, he can't.
I don't know if I can or can't anymore.
You typed it out for him in the chat, and he can't read.
I was elected to lead, not to lead.
Bumble Bundle is a game service that we, G.N.A, are partnered with. You purchase the games like you normally would, but with a twist.
I have faith in you. Come on. I'm so proud of you. Keep going.
You can do it. Run, Damok, run.
You choose what part goes to the publisher, to humble, mumble, or charity.
If you've managed to finish the sentence, I'll get you a chocolate. Do you want a chocolate?
I want a chocolate. You can give it all to charity if you want.
And what do you have to do to get him to send it to charity?
When you do that, you have to do the question mark partner equal GNAPODCAST at the
That's
end.
right.
Yeah.
And what is that? What does that spell?
Winning.
And what does that spell? Damok, concentrate. What does that spell?
G.N.A. podcast.
There you go. Go ahead, put it all together.
At the end of your Bumble Mundle link before you buy and let them know that Damok sent you.
And where do we tell them if they try to give us the money?
Fuck you. We
No,
don't
that's
want
not it. No. Try again. If you don't get this right, you're not getting your chocolate.
You give us the money or I fuck your mother.
Oh, Jesus. No more Call of Duty for you.
There's some Call of Duty in that diaper.
So far this month we
We're going to
have
hell. We're going straight to hell.
$13.50.
You know, I really wish your mother and I used a condom the night we conceived you.
Oh my god, my face hurts from laughing right now.
Some people should have been swallowed.
Oh Jesus, we're gonna
Damn,
get
that should have
sued.
been spit.
Oh man, I'm going to hell so bad.
I'm
No,
so
man, like,
confident that we have
even-
just lost all 2 listeners right now.
I swear to God, no. When this thing finally goes live, we're gonna have an entire group of people just chanting our death thanks to Damok. It's gonna happen.
Hey,
Including our aunt.
Oh my God, yeah, dude. 4 years ago you can get away with that kind of shit. Now you can't get away with that kind of shit.
want to bet?
Somebody else is gonna have to read that properly because I'm gonna get fucked over. It's so bad.
Here we go.
No,
I'm a binder. I can't do it anymore.
No, don't even bother. That was perfect. Do you like anime? Join us Sunday nights
I
at
do.
19:30 Eastern Standard Time
What's
for
the,
anime
what's the
night.
show you're watching?
We're watching Hajime no Ippo.
How the fuck did you pronounce that?
Dude, I have no clue. I am so fucking drunk right now, and my face
Hugging the
hurts.
buffet? Yes.
My face
That
hurts
sounds like a
from
good one.
laughing. Like literally, my face physically hurts from laughing right now.
It does really sound like hugging a buffet to a fat guy.
No, I mean, well, absolutely for you, it would sound like hugging a buffet.
Well, join us every Sunday at 19:30 Eastern Standard Time for Anime Night, hosted by Zyberblood. Actually, I'll be hosting this one coming up simply because Zyberblood's got some stuff going on, so he'll be joining us back again. And hopefully,
So
Blue will
lend
be
an
joining
ear.
us too. Oh Christ! Hey, good joke though. That was a really good joke, actually. We want to thank Morgan BS Photography for our new logo and artwork. Check him out at morganbs.com. Email us at GNApodcast@GNAinyourdNA.1 with questions, comments, death threats, or, Jesus Christ, whatever lawsuit docket number we've got coming our way. And we'd love to hear from you either way.
Thank you. Come again. Ding.
Last but not least, check out our website at
www.fucktheepicgamestoresteamlivesforever.com, or it could be GNApodcast.com. I'm not quite sure.
What?
Thank you, Damok.
What?
I have him at like 10% volume.
Good call. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for joining in.
Have a good night, dude.
This is not a good night.
Prost. Shut up.
Can't tell me what to do.
Gotta figure out what the hell's going on over here.